website. To those present in the gallery today, by attending or participating in the public forum, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The Mayor and/or General Manager have the authority to pause or terminate the live stream if comments or debate are considered defamatory, otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Attendees are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour or commentary. The public have been advised through notices on Council's website and the local newspaper to register by 4 p.m. today if they wish to address Council during the public forum session. Members of the public who have registered to address Council will be given preference, and then, if time permits, anyone else present in the public gallery may address Council on matters considered at the December Council meeting. Speakers are allocated 2 minutes to address Council. I remind councillors to declare any conflicts of interest in relation to matters raised by the public and to take the necessary action. We have one speaker, Mr. Jim Champion. We'll be talking on the Broken Hill Cemetery Caravan Park Development Flood Mitigation Survey. He will refer to our cemetery development within the cemetery's immediate precinct flood mitigation survey. These are his personal thoughts and direction from here. Jim, would you like to start off?
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Thank you, everybody, for the opportunity to be able to come up and speak with you again. As the Mayor alluded to, well, I've travelled here from Adelaide today, personally, to speak directly to you, rather than sort of send in a report or thing I'm uncomfortable at. Basically confirm my confidence in being able to communicate and work collaboratively and constructively with Council, which I've done, particularly with current management, leader and Council. I'll provide an overview of November, December addresses to Council. So that I'll put this together and I'll put something through to yourselves so that we've got something working on to make a difference. I was saying earlier to councillors that I'm 81 in a couple of days, which that is what it is. But with my experience that I've gained and my absolute commitment to Broken Hill holistically, that I'm determined to make a difference before. So in December, I bought, I came up with our daughter and her family, and husband separate. They stayed at the caravan park. While I was there, I went for a bit of a walk and I discovered the development alongside the cemetery at the rear of the caravan park, which took me back a bit because of the flooding in the creek and what's happening out at the cemetery and the potential for the graves. I'm also going to outline, I've had a meeting with the federal MP because I'm going to make a difference, but still working with yourselves, which is my commitment. And direction from here. I'll just make the point that having lost my wife in recent times, it's not grief that's driving me. Barb and I have been on this since Troy went into the capital section, the abandoned section, over 50 years ago. Yeah, so over 50 years ago, but at the November meeting, I spoke about the dilapidated and abandoned section and the flooding, which was confirmed that was happening 50 years ago. The overgrown vegetation there, and councillor who passed away started doing some work and then fortunately passed. The salt flooding, the open view type mounding around there. Provided photographs at the meeting. The December meeting, I spoke of the potential of loss of graves with the creek, how badly it's become cut out. Just on from where council has done some repair work and put a D10, concreting, etc., to save some graves. But there's one particular grave there, a little 8-year-old Nellie Turner, and her grave is being held in the creek by a pepper tree. It's beginning to break in around the tree. The headstones fall. She passed away in 1920. But the marble with the gold inlaid just had the words our parents filled out. And I'm determined I can contribute to make a difference that no graves go in. There's an island of graves. Basically, as you go around to the old Catholics section, on the left, they've got the creek, and then there's a big cutaway almost every time there's major rains, cuts down on the other side of this, these particular graves on the Rose Garden side of the creek, which cuts there. You've got the creek, which is enlarging. And I say this with the creek because the floods over in Victoria in recent times down the Great Ocean Road. If anybody, you've gone up to somebody the week before the floods there, and said, listen, your cars are going to be out in the ocean, never seen again. I think you may have, but that sort of happens out there. And so I can contribute to council's effort by not being directly associated. I can approach and do what I need to do. I provided photographs of Nellie's grave at that meeting. When I put daughter and grandkids up, and they absolutely love it. I went for a walk and discovered the development back of the caravan park, which was Crown land and passed to council in 2005. And then in 2011, it came up, transitioned to private, which now it's been turned into a lot of PVC, and it's gone from an oval, which with old water, to a hard stand, which is going to get all the water and going, which is going to make them woods. The Heritage Act, Federal Heritage Act, the the New South Wales Cemetery and Crematorium Acts, and also the Australian standards relative to drainage, all refer to that any water coming from any development in the precinct, the wording is in the precinct of a heritage site, that there's no water hit from a development that impacts or damages council infrastructure. So it's very clear in those acts and the thing. My concern is that what's been authorised, looking from both sides, also what particularly from council perspective, from the DA, and having been involved with local government for 40+ years, that and the reflections, if it works for water, there's waves lost, that the reflections on council. I'm here and doing what I'm doing. Firstly, get the dignity and respect to the graves and cemetery out there that deserve. There's 800+ miners out there, and when you walk around, there's a lot of them being killed. So But also, and then from there on, I've been generating, my endeavour is to generate interest. Met with the federal member, Jamie Capey. Approached the state MP's office to meet Roy. If I need to go up to Narrabri or where it is, where the neighbouring spot as soon as possible, that's where I'll go. Federal puts it on to state in recent legislations put it on to local government. And then come down here, I mean, the council is not going to spend the dollars out there. Can't spend the dollars that needs out there. But if someone goes, all the fingers will come around, come back to, that's not going to be fair. With Jamie, I met him in his office, we went to that inspection at the cemetery. While I was up, the underlying factor in all this, while I was up here last week in meeting Jamie, I went out to William Street to fill up. And while in the garage, the lady there that works seen me. And I said, look, I'm speaking about the cemetery. Just briefly speaking about it, she started to well up. And I said, well, and she said, I'm just so stressed about her mum. Her mum's dad is in adjacent where the little Nellie's grave is. I think he might be in this semi-island, for want of a better word. And she said she won't go out there because she doesn't know whether he's still there or not. The daughter's stressed for her mother. Mother's. So from here, I'll find areas to meet with Roy Butler. Following that, where I need to drive, I don't care, fly or drive or what make. Potential following that, member from New England, state elections coming up. It's about generating interest and potentials from there that funds or promised elections or whatever I can generate. My 80 years of life experience together with my skill sets, what I'm going to evaluate the whole thing. So member for New England or representative of, and that's one motion. Scenic Rim, Pauline Manson. It's about generating interest and what comes out of this. Media, social media and mainstream media. I've spoken earlier to the mayor and I've said, look, you know, from my perspective, I'm working constructively from the time of meeting Mayor Kennedy back in 22. The 22 that came up. It's been constructive and we'll get something going. So I've referred to funds regarding developments and all that there, and also the cemetery. The New South Wales Cemetery and Crematorium Act. There's 8 principles which you maintaining dignity, respect, and there's also an involvement of stakeholders that are affected by that out there. So specifically says that stakeholders out there, like myself, and I expect many of you in here, have got legislation saying, look, you can get involved.
Jim, that's virtually the end of the public gallery, but I'll just quickly say, look, thanks for what you're doing out there with the cemetery. What can be done is if you look at the children's section of the cemetery, which was organised by volunteers in the community, it's probably the nicest part of the cemetery. So council will look to and will liaise with you about looking to a community group to try and get the Catholic section with the help of council beautified out there. It's probably the quickest and the best way to get that part of it done. Our acting general manager at the end of the meeting, Cody, will talk to you about the other things that you talk about with the flood mitigation and also the development application that was lodged for those developments out there. So he'll have a word to you at the end of the meeting to discuss that. I did speak to Jamie Chafee, so Jamie's committed as well. He understands the importance of the cemetery to the historical and heritage of all towns, but particularly Broken Hill, considering the size of our cemetery and the history in our cemetery. And yeah, so unfortunately, we finish at 6:25 for our.
No,
There's-
it's finished anyway.
Yeah, and I just have to quickly make sure that there's no one else that wishes to speak. Yeah, we'll just make it really quick because we've got 5 minutes. We'll go till the 6:30. If you could just say your name for the,
Yeah, my name.
you can pull that microphone out and hold it if you like.
Sorry, my name's Karen Jenkins Sales. I'm a ratepayer, recently moved to Broken Hill. I am a local originally. I live at 19 Garnet Street, corner of Argent and Garnet Street, in the vicinity of the cross that's on Billy Goat Hill. The reason why I'm here is I have some concerns initially with the maintenance of the cross. It's steel and there's quite a quite a bit of rust. I would like to have the cross itself looked at by whoever's responsible for it to see if it's in safe condition. And then secondly, I'd like to have some sort of public acknowledgement. I've done a little bit of research on the cross itself. I know it was erected in the 1980s as a memorial to young people who had been killed in car accidents in the area. If you do a Google search though, it comes up as a miners' memorial cross. So I'm a little bit concerned that there might be a bit of misinformation out there. So yeah, that's just where I'm at the moment, making initial inquiries to see who's responsible for the maintenance. Thank you.
Sorry. So council does the gardens around the cross and the acting general manager will find out who's in charge of the cross. Council hasn't been in the past. There's been different community groups that have been in charge of it. But we'll follow it up for you anyway, and you'll be able to, there'll be an answer for the next meeting if you come along. Yeah, and if you want it sooner, leave your details at the end of the meeting and someone will give you a call once it is followed up.
Yeah, I don't think that called out.
No, okay then.
But-
Well, you'll have an answer for the next meeting. It'll be in the business paper. No worries. Thank you.